Welcome back to another episode of Where Pompey Walk. Before we get into the football discussions this week, we of course are paying our respects to the late Milan Mandarić, who sadly passed away this weekend. As Rich says in the tweet here, he's the best owner we ever had. Thanks for everything. There's only one Milan. And Phil, before we get into discussing the win against Middlesbrough, just give us your thoughts and memories of what Milan did for this great football club.
Yeah, it was really sad news. I heard when we heard it last night. Um, from Paul Merson to Prozinecki, he brought something different to this club. Um, okay, everything wasn't rosy. He would sack a manager at a whim. Um, but yeah, I think what we experienced getting to the FA Cup final, winning the FA Cup, etc., was set in place by Milan. So yeah, it was very sad news.
Yeah, Sasha, before your time, I think, in terms of being able to go up and watch Pompey. But Jake, I mean, yeah, lots of Pompey fans have already said, look, without him, his guidance, we don't know where Pompey would be now.
Yeah, I mean, before we bought the club, they were going around with buckets with people putting money in to try and save it. So he did save Pompey, and then, as Phil said, to see we had at one point we had Prozinecki on the pitch and George Best in the stand watching on because he was mates with him. So
Yeah.
it was great times. We had a young Peter Crouch up front that Milan brought in, and there was a good story as well when he tried to get Harry Redknapp back from up the road. Rupert Lowe, I think, was ignoring his emails. So he sent him a duck for some reason. I'm not sure why he did, but it worked because Harry come back. So yeah, he did so much for the club, and yeah, a great guy, and obviously thoughts of his family and friends.
Yeah, absolutely. R.I.P. Milan, and very fitting, of course, that the next game will be against Leicester. Which should be a good send-off. Welcome back. Thank you very much, of course, for joining us. We've already said there is only one Milan. We're also looking back, of course, at the win against the undefeated, not anymore, Middlesbrough. Just how key was Josh Knight coming into the back line. We're also having a quick chat about refereeing standards. Are there actually any good ones in this division? And last week we started the A to Z of Pompey. We decided that A was going to be for AC Milan. So who on earth gets in for B? AI has only thrown up one suggestion this week, which is, of course, Colby himself. But are we missing any others? Great to have you back, Sasha. That was a surprising result, wasn't it?
You know what? I wasn't actually surprised. It's such a Pompey thing to do, to go and beat Middlesbrough, who are unbeaten at Fratton Park, and lose to Sheffield Wednesday, drop points against Watford. I told everyone in the pub beforehand, we will win that game. I was 100% confident. It's just the Pompey way.
Yeah, it was echoed by quite a few, that same sentiment. Yeah, Albie says only Pompey would lose to Wednesday, who got thrashed 5-0 today, and then go and beat the unbeaten league leaders. Who impressed for you, Jake? Going to Knight in a minute, so ignore him.
Yeah, well, he did have a good game, Regan Paul. I think defensively we were solid. The last sort of like 20 minutes, they were always going to come on to us, but they didn't really test Bersic in goals. So I think defensively we've done really well. Ogilvy had another good game. He's a solid 7, 8 out of 10 every week. Ogilvy, he's a real unsung hero. So yeah, I'll say he impressed me.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the man that's getting quite a lot of attention online, Phil, if you don't mind then. Yes, Kev says, I was worried when we lost Shaughnessy, but I needn't to, as yes, this was replying to Josh Knight himself on Twitter, as you were outstanding today, and you've been getting better every single game. Play up Pompey, yeah. Just how good is Mr. Knight?
Yep. He's actually a player I was hoping we were going to sign a couple of years ago before he went off to Germany. But I guess patience has paid off. So I think, I'll be honest, he looked a little bit, I'm not quite sure the best word to use, but he wasn't at his best in the first couple of games he's played. But yeah, fair play to him yesterday. He was, along with the rest of the defence, like Jake has said, with very good performance. So well done.
Yeah. I mean, Sasha, in the pubs when obviously Shaughnessy's not playing, do you have that worry that at the back you're going to be lighter, but Knight probably proved a few doubters wrong, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, last season was a completely different story. When we did lose Regan Paul and Shaughnessy, we were poor defensively. We had players like Marlon Pack, who isn't a natural defender. We had McIntyre, who really couldn't step up to the level. So this season's very different. We've got a really good backup option in Josh Knight, and yeah, he fills me with confidence. I don't have to go into a match worrying about our centre backs. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Another couple of tweets here. Thomas is excellent. Poole, Knight, Bursic, solid back, dictating play, and Yang bright again. Right, Jake. Yeah, 2 in 2 for Yang. He QPR last year. He flattered to deceive quite a lot in games. What are you seeing from him in terms of his industry and his work rate? Have you been impressed so far? With QPR fans last year said he's too lightweight.
Yeah, I kind of thought that as well. First couple of games, and then his end product wasn't quite there. He was sort of dropping his shoulder, but not quite getting the cross in. But the last couple of games, he's been brilliant, and I'm so happy for him. You could see like how delighted he was when he got both goals. So I think he can only go from strength to strength from here, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens going forward.
Yeah, he needs to work on his celebrations, doesn't he? You see his fist bumps at the end there.
Yeah.
Right, Phil, then 2 home games, Watford and Middlesbrough, 4 points. That's not bad, is it? What have we learnt this week that we didn't know 7 days ago?
Well, we learned that Yang can score a good goal, that's for sure. Like I say, it must be really difficult for such a young player to come all the way over here, sign for Spurs, went out on loan, had a few games last year with QPR, but he's still a young player learning his trade. And as Jake, I agree with Jake that his first couple of games, I could see something was there, but he wasn't quite delivering. But bit of confidence behind him. He was like a man possessed on Wednesday night. He was everywhere, and a bit like that yesterday as well. So no, he's been a shining light the last couple of games, and the technical ability to take those 2 goals was very impressive.
Okay. Right, Sasha, then 9 played then at this pause point. 3 won, 3 drawn, 3 lost. That just sums Pompey up, doesn't it? It's no idea where is this season going to go for you. I mean, one team I cannot place anywhere as 1 to 24. Help me out from what you've seen.
It's weird because even though we have drawn and lost 3 each, some of the losses we have are very avoidable. For example, Sheffield Wednesday, we should have picked up 3 points. Watford, a draw, we should have won that. So I don't think we're quite reflected in our league position yet. I think it's still early doors. We are good enough to, push higher up the table. I'm not going to say we're finishing in the playoffs. I think it's a bit naive this early on, but there's no reason that we can't just fix up on those draws and turn draws into wins, turn losses into draws, and we can. I see no reason why we can't finish top half.
Last week, Jake, we were talking about problems up front. Has he sorted that out now?
Not quite. I think if you look at Pompey Twitter, Bishop, Chaplin, and Swift have all been getting a little bit of flack. Some of it justified. I think the Watford game, Swift was at fault for their goal just after half time, and Bishop I don't think he's been getting the service. I know it can be a bit of a cop out, but when you're up front on your own, you do need service. You do need balls coming into the box, but he's really just got scraps to feed off at the moment. So it just doesn't seem to be happening for him. Chaplin is. I think everyone just expected him to come back in and hit the ground running straight away, and it hasn't quite happened for him. But I'm still confident it will do, because he's such a quality player. I just think people just need to calm down a little bit and give all 3 of them a bit of time to get going this season.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about bringing some of the Bishop tweets up here, Phil, but every time I've done that in the past, you 3 have been very quick to smack them back down, saying no, we're not listening to any of that. But are even you coming around to see that maybe some of these people have got a point?
No, look, I can admit that he's going through a bad run of form. Let's be honest, he's not scoring goals, but as we've said many times before, the way we play, he is central to what we do. Without him, we're just, again, going back to last year when he was out at the start of the season, has a really negative effect on how we play. So, yeah. He could do with a goal.
Yeah, it's going to come, isn't it? definitely going to come. Right, quick chat about refereeing standards then, Sasha. We're not getting into that. Should we have VAR and how bad they are? We know they're bad, but where are we at for you? I mean, first of all, have you seen any good ones in this league so far?
West Brom away. We should have had about 8 players left on the pitch on our side after that game, but I think that's the first good refereeing performance I've seen in quite a few years. But yeah, the standard of refereeing in general is quite poor. But I think at the same time, when you're a fan in the stands and you are desperately begging for 3 points, every single decision the referee makes against you, you're going to be extremely critical of, and every decision that goes for you, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that was obvious anyway. I think it's hard, but the standard is poor. Yesterday, the Boro game, the referee was poor. There were a lot of decisions that were very, very wrong. To be honest, maybe for both teams, but he made a lot of decisions in Boro's favour that I thought you can't even justify. I mean, we see it week in, week out, especially with Bishop. That guy gets wrestled to the ground more times than I've seen any other player in my life, and he probably wins the least amount of fouls of anyone on that pitch, and I really don't see how. And it's not just the referees, it's the linesmen as well. In fact, I'd argue that the linesmen are worse, because the fouls happen right in front of them, and because I sit in the North Upper, and the amount of fouls committed right in front of me yesterday, and the linesman just shrugging it off, it's laughable. It's genuinely laughable. He's a few yards away from the players, and he sees nothing wrong with it. I don't know what's going through their minds.
Jake, is there a solution to it? I mean,
no, it's actually spot on.
Level?
I'm North Lower, and we had one against Watford. Segachich just in the 90th minute, 20 yards out, just got swiped out 3 times, and he didn't see any of them. I think all you can ask for in a referee is, it's a difficult job, let's face it, I wouldn't want to do it, but all you can ask for is a bit of consistency and getting the basics right. And at the moment, they're inconsistent in getting the basics wrong, so but what can you do? Nothing's going to change.
Yeah, we want to try and herald at least one good one. We're trying across all our channels to find one that is.
I thought the one today in the game, in the Norwich Ipswich game, I thought he was alright.
Yes, yeah. Kirk, yeah. Right. Last week, if you were with us, and if you weren't, you can go back and have a look at it, but we're talking about the A to Z of Pompey, and these guys put in the AC Milan game as being part of Pompey heritage. So this week we're asking what goes in for the letter B. As we mentioned, AI threw up Colby himself as the only representative for the letter, surname with the letter B. Bill, kick this one off for us.
Let Jake go first in case I steal his one again.
Okay.
Yeah, he did last. Yeah, he's done 2 last week.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of honorary shout outs. I've got Christian Burgess, because I thought he won the League 2 with us, and he's gone on, and this season obviously captained his team in the Champions League, and what an achievement for him. Kevin Prince Boateng I've got as well, only because he scored in the semi-final against Tottenham when Redknapp was their manager. But I've got to give it to Alan Ball. Oh, you're going for that, Phil? Sorry. Yes. But yeah, I mean, he was absolute legendary Pompey manager. When I first started going, he was Pompey manager, and his quote is still, as you walk out at Fratton Park now, his quote is above where the players walk out, which is people go to war from this city. So absolute Pompey legend, yeah, Alan Ball for me.
Okay, Phil.
Yeah, good shout. He was top of my list. That's why I had a feeling Jake would say that. Another couple of honorary mentions for me, linked to Boro, was Noel Blake, central defender, hard as nails. He was an absolute brick house. Burgess I thought of as well, but the one for me, going back to the Premier League days, Benjani, I just loved him. I always remember his goal celebration. Every goal, he did the same celebration. His hat-trick against Reading in the 7-4 game, which is still the highest scoring game in the Premier League. He's just, I loved him to bits. So, Benjani for me.
This is tough here. Alan Ball, I think, is what we're going to put in, unless Sasha can pull out one here. Can you?
No, the 2 that I was going to go for, actually, funny enough, were Bishop and Burgess, both of which have been mentioned now, so cheers, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't around to really watch players like Benjani play for us in the flesh, so it's a bit different for me. But I'm not going to pick a player. I'm actually just going to go quite simple, quite cliche, and just Blue Army. And the main reason is because of that Oxford at home game in our League One winning season.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the AC Milan game, so I can't compare it to anything. But that Oxford game at home was the best atmosphere I think I'll ever witness in a football match. Just for, I don't know how long it went on for. It felt like it went on for hours, but it was just constant Blue Army, non-stop, from every single stand for that game, and that got us over the line. And it just shows the power that the Pompey fans do have. And the players and manager mentioned it in their interviews yesterday. You know, the fans can see when the players are struggling a little bit, when the backs are against the wall, and just that little bit of extra push when the fans sing Blue Army or whatever it is, just sometimes helps the players get over the line. And it has done for many years. And I think if we didn't have the support that we have, I don't know if we'd be a championship club right now. I really don't.
Wow. That was so eloquently put as well. Gosh. We're going to struggle here, aren't we? Right, Blue Army or Alan Ball in the comments, please. We're going to put this to we'll have to put this to the people watching. What should represent Pompey in this virtual encyclopedia? Right, let us see next week then. I've got a few myself for that one, so join us for that in a couple of weeks' time. Sorry, we should say, as we head to Leicester in the after the international break. Thank you three. Have a rest next week. Appreciate all your commentary this week as well, and again, all our thoughts go out to everyone connected with Milan Mandarić. What an absolute legend. To see you in 2 weeks' time. Thanks, everyone.